Hi everyone, welcome to my channel and welcome to today's video. So today's video is dedicated to Juvia's Place eyeshadow palettes. There are so many times that you guys ask me about Juvia's Place eyeshadow palettes, which one to buy, which one I recommend, plus oftentimes many of you ask me about shimmer shadows which I can recommend. So I thought let me just do a quick video on all the Juvia's Place eyeshadow palettes I have. So this is not going to be a very review based video. I'll just do a very quick review on all these palettes, but I'm mainly going to focus on the swatches and the colors which are there in each palette, and I can recommend to you which palette you can go for. First of all, let me just say that I love Juvia's Place as a brand. I love their eyeshadow palettes. I love everything which they come out with. Obviously I can't buy everything, but whenever they have a new eyeshadow palette, I definitely go out and check it out and see if I love the colors, because they have such amazing formula. It's one of my favorite eyeshadow palette brands, like all time, high-end, low-end, affordable. It's one of my favorites. So I highly recommend, if you are an eyeshadow palette lover, you can go ahead and get one Juvia's Place eyeshadow palette. I have quite a few of them actually. Over the period of last few months I have collected a few of them. So I have the Saharan by Juvia's Place. That was the first one which I got, this one. Then I have the Nubian 2 by Juvia's Place. Obviously, why do I keep saying Juvia's Place? Then I have the Masquerade Mini. And then I have this one, the Magic by Juvia's Place. So this is the latest edition. This one actually I got quite some time back, probably around a month and a half so back. But I still haven't done a video on this one yet. I have a video reviewing this whole palette, the Saharan palette. If you want more details, then you can go ahead and check out this. In this video also I will give swatches of this one. And I have a one palette, 3 looks kind of a video on this palette, which is the Nubian 2. And in this video I'll do swatches on this. This one is the Masquerade palette, and this one is actually the Masquerade Mini. They have a larger version as well, which is kind of this size. And I did not get that size because I was just interested in the colors and I can never finish eyeshadow palette. So when I saw that they have a mini version, I got this one. I will talk about it a little more in the future. But let's look at this one, which is my latest addition, which is the Magic palette. And this is how it looks. This is such an amazing eyeshadow palette. All the Juvia's Place palettes have a very nice packaging. They're very sturdy. They're cardboard packaging but very sturdy. I don't want to go into the packaging and all those stuff into too much detail in this video, otherwise this is going to be a very long video. So this is the Magic palette and this is how it looks. So these are all the shadows in this. I did this eye look today with this palette, and this is just such an inspiring palette. Look at the colors. You have a little bit of neutral kind of colors, little warm colors here, but look at this section. It has all the interesting shades of blues and purples and greens. This one was not very cheap. It was not like super affordable, because Juvia's Place, if you buy in the US, it's pretty affordable, but by the time they reach Singapore, it has very high shipping rates, so they kind of get very expensive. This one I think I paid around $60 or $65 or something, and yeah, it's pretty expensive. Like if you're buying in Singapore, there are not too many resellers who are selling these things, but I think it is totally worth it. Seriously, I don't regret spending so much for all the Juvia's Place eyeshadow palettes. I think I'll sound like a broken record. Across the board, the shadow quality is amazing, especially the shimmers or the metallic finishes. They are amazing quality. They are super pigmented, super shiny. They are just like one swipe and they work so well with the brush. Like especially I don't have those like MAC 242 kind of brushes, which are very good for shimmer eyeshadows. I don't have those kind of brushes, but these work with the brushes I have, which are not synthetic stiff brushes but the regular ones. Anyways, I prefer to use my fingers with this. The eye look which I have created today, you can see I have used this shadows here. This one is in the outer corners, then this one is in the middle, kind of middle here. So it is like a very nice shift. It has a purple shift, really like it. And then I have this one towards the inner corners, and this one I have on my lower lash line, and I have this one in my crease, and this one also a little bit. So I have kind of used a lot of the palette for this eye look. So let me just swatch this quickly. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to show you swatches of the first 2 rows, and these are the swatches of the first 2 rows, and these are the swatches of the next 2 rows. So as you can see, the colors are just amazing. You have like everything. You have pinks, blues, yellow, gold, every kind of color. So if you are a real eyeshadow lover and you love a lot of colors, then this is a very nice palette for you. I'm pretty sure you're not going to have something similar color in your collection, because these colors are so unique to my collection as well. So I really liked it. The only thing is that probably this matte and this matte could have been a little bit more creamier. I think that's my only issue. Other than that, overall I think the palette is great. The mattes are generally good quality. I just hope that it was a little bit better, but I don't have any issues blending. I don't have any kind of fallout issue, so that way I think that is great. So I can look past the fact that these 2 mattes are not exactly like very creamy and smooth and pigmented. So I think if you love colors, then you're going to love the Magic palette. But yes, there are not a lot of neutral shades in this, so if you're a neutral eyeshadow lover, you may not have a lot of things to work with. These kind of colors are really nice for lining your lower lash line and stuff like that, but yeah, you don't have a lot of neutrals here. So now if you really want neutrals, I think the other 3 palettes are a good buy, because they have a little bit of neutrals in them. So the other palette which I'll talk about first is the Nubian 2. So this is how they look side by side. So as you can see that the Nubian palette has a little bit more of neutral tones. I just did a video using this palette recently. You can go ahead and see the makeup looks which I have created there. So this has a lot of neutrals. These are very wearable shades here. These shades are also really nice and wearable shades. This, you have 2 pop of colors, like a blue and a green. If you don't wear blue and green eyeshadows on your eyelids, these are nice colors for your lower lash line. So you can get a little bit of color. These are also really nice complementary on our skin tone. So I think this is a really nicely laid out palette, and these metallics are also really nice. The mattes are also really good in this palette. They are very soft and pigmented. So I think overall this palette is really good. So let me quickly show you the swatches for the Nubian 2 as well. So this is how the palette looks, and these are all the colors swatched. These are the first 2 rows of the palette. As you could see that there is only 1 pop of color in the first 2 rows, that's the blue, and other shades are pretty wearable, pretty neutral toned. And this is the last row in the palette, and there are some pops of color in this row. So this palette also is really nice. All the shadows are really nicely pigmented. The mattes are also pretty consistent. Some of them are better quality, but overall all the mattes are pretty good. And shimmers, I don't think I have to say anything, you just saw for yourself. So this was the Nubian 2. Next, let's go on to the Masquerade mini palette. So you have a Masquerade palette which is like a bigger version, and I got the mini version. This is how it looks, and this also has a pretty packaging. This is how the packaging is. So this is also a really good neutral palette option, because you have this row over here, these 2 rows. These are like very neutral rows, so you can use this for your eye makeup. And for pops of color, you have like every kind of color which you can ever need. So you have your purples, your blues, your greenish blues, deeper purple, magenta kind of colors, and pinks. So this is like a really nice versatile palette. So if you're looking for something which will have browns and a lot of colors, then I think this is a really nice palette to go for. This has 2 versions. You have the Masquerade, like the original version, and this is the mini version, which I think is also pretty handy, pretty good. You get a lot of product in this as well. Let me just quickly compare it to the Magic palette so that you can see. So here you can see the comparison. You can see the difference in the pan size. If you want this kind of pan size, then probably you can go in for the bigger palette. And you can see that the Masquerade palette is quite, it has a lot of neutral tones, and you have the nice pops of colors. Let me just quickly swatch this palette for you. So this is how the palette looks like. So these are the first 2 rows of the palette, and look at those colors. So these are the shadows of the next 2 rows of the Masquerade palette. And these are also so pretty. Some of the browns are a little too close to my skin tone, so you're not able to see them properly. So as you could see, this is also an amazing palette. Highly recommend if you're looking for something which has some neutral tones as well. The shimmers are amazing quality. Mattes are pretty consistent with what I have seen on other palettes. They are not the absolute creamiest mattes which I have ever tried, but they are good quality. I don't have any issues blending with them, or other pigmentation is pretty good. So with the mattes, I am not like super excited, but they are good quality. But the shimmers are amazing. The next one which I have is the Saharan by Juvia's, and this is the tiny little palette which I have. I already have reviewed this in great detail. I have a video on this, so I will link it in the cards. You can go ahead and check it out. I'll just quickly show you guys a side by side of these two, the Saharan and the Masquerade. So this is how they look side by side. You can see that the Masquerade one has a lot of colors, and the Saharan one is a pretty simple, nice little, it's a pretty neutral based eyeshadow palette. I think if you are someone who doesn't want a lot of colors, but you want like a very nice neutral toned eyeshadow palette which is compact and it has all the basic warm tone colors, I think you will like this one. This is also a really nice palette. I will go ahead and quickly swatch this one for you. So this is how the palette looks like, and these are the shadows which are there in the first and the second row of the palette, and these are the shadows in the last row of the palette. I think the mattes in this palette are a little bit better quality. All the mattes are really nice and smooth and very creamy, so I really like the mattes better in this palette. And the shimmers, as you could see, they're amazing quality, and the shimmer shadow, like the shimmer colors, are also really unique. So I really love this palette as well. If you want to compare this with the Magic palette, so here you can see that the colors like fall in the same family, but the tones are a little different. So I think like if you even have all the palettes from Juvia's place, I think you will still have a lot of different colors. Like in all of the 4 eyeshadow palettes which I have, I don't think any of the colors are like similar. All of the colors are pretty unique. If you're someone who wants some neutral kind of eyeshadow palette with a little pops of colors, I think the Masquerade 2, the mini or the large version, whichever, the Saharan palette is also really good. It's not too neutral, but it has some interesting colors. So I think if you don't have those colors in your collection, you can go on for this one. And this one, the Nubian 2, is also really good, very interesting colors. And of course, if you are a true eyeshadow palette lover, you love colors, I think if you get the Magic palette, you're going to love it. It doesn't have a lot of neutral shades, but it has some interesting neutrals which you can play around with, and it has amazing colors. To sum it all, I love Juvia's Place eyeshadow palettes. I can't recommend them enough. They are just too good. I think you have to get at least one. I will try to have all of this reviewed on my blog. I think I have 2 of them reviewed on my blog. I will get the other 2 reviewed on my blog as well, so that you can see swatches, and I will have them swatched on my Instagram as well. So make sure you're following me on Instagram if you want to see more swatches and more pictures. Other than that, I think that's it for today's video. If you have any other requests related to Juvia's Place eyeshadow palettes, do let me know in the comment section below. So that's it guys. I really hope that this video was helpful and you liked it. If you did and it was helpful, then please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. And also, if you're watching me for the first time, then I really hope you'll consider subscribing. Thank you so much for watching me today. I will see you guys really soon in my next video. Bye.